Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fan Appreciation Marathon here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a Japanese animated film from 2010. That movie is called Redline. Now, I do know a little bit about this movie, and when I say a little bit, I mean I saw one ad for it about a year and a half ago or so, and I was really curious about it. So now I'm going to have my chance. Now I kind of wish I remembered where the hell I saw that, ad, but I know I've seen an ad for it. That's all I fucking know. And the one thing I was able to pick up from it is it looks fantastic, at least in terms of art style and the animation. All of that looks fantastic. I'm not totally sure about the plot. I know it has something to do with a race. So yeah, I'm going into this sucker almost totally blind, except I know it's going to look fantastic and the animation is going to be some of the smoothest I will probably ever see coming out of Japan. So I'm kind of hoping that everything else can kind of build onto that and form a fantastic movie. But the only way to find out is if I shut up, I push play, and I start watching it. And I'm going to do that right now. So without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Redline. You know, guys, normally this here would be something worth, like bitching about. It took them this long to finally get to the opening credits. Now, with most movies, when it takes them this long to actually show you the movie's title, that sometimes just shows bad pacing. But this time, that, guys, was 13 minutes of some of the most badass racing I've ever fucking seen. I loved it. Well, it's certainly good to see that our main character has all of the maturity of a 6-year-old. He just pantsed a restaurant manager. That right there is just the pinnacle of class, dude. Well, that's one way of taking care of friggin' illegal betting. Just, literally just liquefy those who are trying to bet. Wow, that was kind of sick, but really fucking cool. Okay, out of all the characters in this movie, this one is the creepiest looking one. He's one of the sports announcers. He's got the biggest fucking eyes I've ever seen. It doesn't help that his eyes also jut like this far out from his head. Looks really fucked up, man. So apparently racers are allowed to just enter this race at any time while the race is going on. We just had a soldier from this fucking planet stop chasing to kill the racers, now just wants to win. And apparently that's going to be totally legal. It doesn't really make sense, but it is sort of an interesting twist, so I am going to grant them that. You know, guys, when I thought about watching this, I really was not expecting just the high level of gore which is in this thing, and, well, I honestly am not complaining. It's just I wasn't really expecting it, and it's kind of taken me a bit by surprise. Just thought I'd mention that. Okay, the ending was kind of sappy, but frankly, I'm gonna totally let it fucking slide. So yeah, guys, that was Redline. Let me shut this off. There we go. So, let's talk about this movie, shall we? I've been trying, guys, ever since the movie started, I've been trying to figure out the best way to fully explain what the hell kind of movie this is. Because to simply call it a sci-fi film is not quite covering enough, and to say that it's a race film isn't quite covering enough. To say that it borrows heavily from, of all things, wacky fucking races, that's not quite enough. It's kind of a mix of all of that. I want you guys to imagine the kind of stupid race films which come out in the U.S. Fast and the Furious and all that other kind of horse shit. You mix that with some high-grade, like, Star Wars-style sci-fi, and you throw in... you just take that, you take those two elements, and then you take a little bit of wacky races, you put it all into a blender, and the end result is Redline, and good God, was it ever fucking amazing. Okay. Alright, so, where to start? Well, let's talk about the writing. The movie's only about 90 minutes, well, actually, it's actually like an hour and 40 minutes, if you want to get real technical. And within that time, they are able to give every character mountains and mountains of depth and character. I mean, the characters actually have personality, and they all have fantastic personality. There is not a single unlikable character in this movie. Now, granted, a couple of them are a little bit shallow, such as, well, a couple of the racers, they don't really have a whole lot of personality, but since they also do not have a whole lot of screen time, it's not really a huge, huge loss. The characters who you are guaranteed to see the most are given as much depth as they could possibly give them, and it works. It works so well. So... guys, just basically in terms of, like, character depth, they were able to do more in 1 hour and 40 minutes than most movies could do with 3 hours. In terms of giving you tons of backstory and giving you more and more reasons to care about these characters. Now, it really is saying a lot because there is this big stigma when it comes to anime about characters being horribly shallow and the stories being kind of shallow. Well, the story here is sort of shallow. It's a fucking race. But the characters are very, very well developed, and I'm kind of surprised at that because I really thought it was just going to be a mindless fucking, like, race movie. And I was pleasantly shocked. As for all of the sci-fi stuff, which gets worked in, all of that was worked in really, really well, because this race is apparently on the sci-fi planetary equivalent of North fucking Korea, in the sense that they do not want they don't want anybody there, and these racers are just going to barge in, and they're going to expose all of the government secrets that are sitting out in plain sight, because, well, no one's allowed on the fucking planet. It's very, very interesting, and it's all very, very well done and very nicely handled. So yeah, guys, writing here is really sound. Acting. Here is the one bump in this road, is the acting. Mind you, I was watching the English, dub, and, well, it's probably a little bit better in Japanese. But I'd say about a third of the actors in this thing really, really suck. However, though, I believe that's partially because you cannot act with the level of intensity that these characters have, okay? That is the big thing here, is that this is one of the most intense, like, thrill ride movies I have ever seen. And every single character is just completely jacked up. There's no way in hell the entire cast is going to be able to keep that level of just power and keep it for an entire movie. So we do have a couple of actors who seem to falter, and the dialogue, it just does not match what you're seeing on screen just with how it's said. So you will have, and this happens like maybe 2 or 3 times, you will see characters who are very clearly screaming, but they're basically talking the way that I'm talking right now. It's very, very calm, and it's way, way out of place. Also, while I'm talking about the dub, I'm I'm taking a wild guess, and I could be way off on this. I don't believe that the English dub was incredibly loyal, unless the movie itself, even in Japanese, delved heavily into like toilet humor and, you know, stuff like that, because there is quite a bit of toilet humor, like verbally. And of course there's that one scene I mentioned when JP pantses the manager of a fucking restaurant just because he could. So hey, who knows, perhaps honestly the dialogue is that crass and vulgar. That too, the film is incredibly vulgar in terms of language. So if there's anyone out there who gets horribly offended by foul language, well, first of all, if you are offended by foul language, why the hell are you watching me? I'm sort of curious about that, but still, if somehow you stumbled onto my videos and you're horribly offended by foul language and you think that I, you know, swear a lot, yeah, this is worse. We are talking almost Tarantino level swearing here, which is kind of cool, at least to me. So, you know, acting here is sort of a, you know, like mixed, you know, bag. The writing here is fantastic. And as I stated at the start, the fucking, like, trailer I saw for this showed me that we have some absolutely beautiful animation. And I would like to talk about the art style, because, guys, you know, because frankly, animation, it's smooth. It's really smooth. That's about all I can tell you about it. It looks fantastic. And the art style, it looks almost like it was lifted out of a comic book. It looks literally like it was pulled out of some kind of, like, U.S., you know, comic book as seen through, say, like a Japanese filter, because there are still a whole lot of big, like, anime things in this thing, such as, say, like, you know, like green hair and all of that kind of shit. But everything's got this very, 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 like, it all has this feel of a friggin', like, American comic book, including having tons and tons of shading and shadow, and it looks fantastic. Art, guys, if I honestly could get my hands on cells from this, provided it was animated on cells, I'm not sure if it was, I would happily take them and frame them. That is how fantastic the art in this thing is. And that also includes the, you know, background, or rather backgrounds. The soundtrack here is fantastic. I'm probably going to have to download that when I'm done filming here. Just, guys, overall, this film is fantastic. If you are a fan of sci-fi movies, if you are a fan of racing films, if you are a fan of anime, if you're a fan of toilet humor, shit, yeah, this thing, guys, offers a little something for damn near everybody, and it is fantastic. Oh, man, yeah, this thing is certainly going on to my Blu-ray shelf, and it will sit there with fucking pride. Now, Redline came off the Amazon.com wish list. The person who sent it in is somebody who I believe this might be the only thing he has sent in. So yes, this here is his one lone shout out, at least for now. I would have to double check. He might have sent in something else. And his YouTube channel is, I actually have it written down here, just give me a moment. It's Ratchet Command. Dude, thank you. And I am going to put a link to your YouTube channel in this video's description. Guys, go over there, check him out. Dude, this thing has made my fucking week, man. This movie rocked. Oh, man. You know, guys, there are really just times when I absolutely adore mindless bullshit like sci-fi action films, and I got my fucking wish. This thing is the dictionary definition of a popcorn film, and I cannot possibly heap enough praise on it for that. So if you guys can find a copy of this, pick it up. It might actually be on Netflix. I'm not totally sure, so you may have to double check on that. And once more, Ratchet, dude, thank you. This movie, wow. I actually put it on the wish list. I had no idea if the fucker was going to be any good, because the trailer, I just had like a couple of minor like memories of it, and my God, this thing was awesome. I guys, I'm actually kind of sort of giddy, you know, with happiness. Just that is how good this was. So yeah, guys. Wow. Oh man, I love this. So yeah, guys, I am just going to walk away now, especially since I'm just sort of rambling right now. So yeah, guys, with that we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.